was launched in September of 1998, which means that I am officially older than Google, and I can't wait to tell that to my children one day. Hello lovely people, today I want to talk about something that is very close to my heart, because without it I would not be here today, making these videos, sharing my knowledge, learning new skills, or growing my business. And that is having access to the internet. If you're new here, welcome to HanSelah. I'm Han, and I talk about all things to do with graphic design and running my own freelance graphic design business. Now, obviously the internet was started way back in like the 1960s, but when the search engine Google was created, that is when everything kind of really started to kick off and skyrocket, because that is what helped make the internet easily accessible to the general public. So I'm going to do a super quick history of the internet. First off, we started with Web 1, which is basically it was decentralized and it was read-only. That means that you couldn't interact with it, you couldn't share it, you couldn't comment, you could only read. And decentralized means that it wasn't owned by one giant mega corporation, such as Meta. It was stored on various servers all over the place, and multiple people basically had the ownership of it. But then we quickly moved on to Web 2 in the early 2000s, and this became read and write, which means people could write and publish their own content, such as blogs or videos, and people could then comment, like, share, and engage in what they were reading, so they could write. And then obviously we introduced the subscribe and follow button, so people could not only interact with it, but build communities. And this is how online communities were then formed. Fast forward to today, we are now living in Web 3. I know it's a bit of a hot topic, but it basically means that we are going back to a decentralized form of internet, where the power goes back to the people rather than one giant company being in charge of all your data. But we're not going to talk about Web 3 today, that's a whole other cookie to crumble. I want to talk about how the internet has completely changed the way in which we do everyday things. So a quick backstory, my mother and sister came to visit me up in France last year. And I remember thinking when my mom came to visit me, how different it must have been when she was my age and going traveling across the world. When I travel, the internet is my lifeline. I cannot imagine traveling in my own country, let alone a foreign country, without the internet. I use Google Maps because I'm useless with directions and I need to know where I need to go. I buy all of my train, bus, metro tickets on my phone. I buy my plane tickets on my phone too. I scan QR codes for all my modes of transport. Like, I don't print out my plane tickets, I just get a QR code and then scan the code. I use Google Translate to communicate with people when I don't know the local language. I call Uber when I'm in a hurry, I use my phone for that. I use online banking to transfer savings into my bank card. I would literally be completely lost without the internet if I had to go and travel without it. And this really made me think long and hard about how people would do it before the internet. Obviously, before you even go to your place of destination, you can't just like type in Paris in Google and look at pictures of it. You would have to go to a library and look at a travel book of Paris, or go to a travel agent and then they would show you pictures of what Paris looks like. And you couldn't just buy your plane ticket online, you would actually have to go into a travel agency and then they would have to sort out your plane ticket for you, or you would have to drive directly to the airport and purchase your ticket at a kiosk. And when you finally get to the other country, you can't just call an Uber, you would have to take public transport or a taxi. But if you take public transport, you can't just go and buy the tickets on your phone, you have to go stand in a line and buy them at a kiosk with a person. Or if you decide to take the taxi and you can't speak French, you don't have Google Translate, so you're going to have to take a French-English dictionary so that you can actually speak to the person and tell them to take you where you need to go. And on top of all of that, you would also have to have made sure that you have converted all of your cash into the local currency, so that you could then pay said taxi driver with the currency of that country and not of your country. On top of that, you wouldn't have Google Maps, so you couldn't just whip out your phone and walk around. You would have to carry a map with you at all times. And you wouldn't be able to see what time all the museums and attractions were operating. You would actually have to go there in person and look at the signboard to see what times they'll be open. Or you would have to get a brochure, maybe from like a hotel, where they can give you all information about the tourist attractions. Life must have been so incredibly different. And what's funny is all of this happened in a few short decades. Now, despite all of these technological advancements, there are still very much people who have never and will never experience the internet today. Being South African and growing up in South Africa, I've personally seen what real poverty looks like, what real rural living looks like. Schools where they teach their children under a tree because they don't have buildings or classrooms, they don't have books or pens or pencils or any sort of learning materials. They don't have uniforms or shoes, children walking kilometers just to get to school. They would have a meal at school and that would be their only meal of the whole day. And this is very much still how people live in all places of the world. And my question is, what becomes of these children. Most times they don't end up finishing school, they have to go to work and do hard labor, work in the fields to help their family sustain themselves and live. And if they are able to go through school and finish and matriculate, are their marks good enough to get into university? And despite all the factors that I've just mentioned, if they do happen to get into a university, how do they continue to learn and grow and network without the use of the internet or laptops or computers? And just think about how many university admissions are actually done online. We also submit our assignments online, we receive our results online, and that is not just private institutions, this is government institutions as well, and I know that because I went to a public university in South Africa. Most people do assume that I went to a private college, but no. I went to a public technical university because I had to pay for my own university fees. The point is, there are so many students that have, despite all odds, put in all that determination and work. And they're often hit with the brick wall at the end of all their efforts because of their limited access to connection to the internet and devices that are used to access the internet. And this is where I want to talk to you about my recent partner, GiveInternet. GiveInternet is a non-profit organization that exists to make it simple and transparent for anyone to sponsor internet access and laptops to a student in need, allowing them to access global knowledge and equal opportunities. Why? Because almost 3 billion people have never logged onto the internet. They have never taken advantage of Google, YouTube, or AI tools that we use every day. They've missed out on education, online jobs, conversations, and equal opportunities. And we have missed out on their potential. Before the internet, a person's future was determined by the physical environment that they were born into. Today, internet access means global knowledge and equal opportunities. At GiveInternet, you can sponsor internet access and laptops for students in some of the most underserved communities. Their local partners provide skills development programs like coding, design, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. The only thing that these students are lacking is their connection to the internet and a laptop. Once connected, most of these students either find a job, freelance, or start their own business. And we can help make that happen. You can join the cause in just a few short clicks. And every donation made through my link, which is down in the description of this video, will be doubled by one of their donors. So if you donate $10, you'll actually be sending $20 because it will be doubled. GiveInternet is also very transparent with everything that goes on within their nonprofit, so you can also read the stories of each of their students on their platform, GiveInternet.org. You can view every penny spent and also receive monthly updates showing you who you helped and how it has changed their lives. GiveInternet did not pay me for this video, but they did sponsor me some really cool merch, which I am currently wearing, so how cool. I love this one. It says it's all about connection. I've actually been swapping out the merch that they've been giving me. So this one says empower. It's a super cool hoodie. And when I started recording this video, I was wearing this t-shirt, which is the Spark t-shirt. I love it. It's like a flame and the colors are super cool. You can also purchase their merch on their website as well. So if you want a cool hoodie or a shirt or a tote bag, check it out. Anyway, the reason why this topic is so special and so important to me is because without internet connection, without my laptop, I would not be where I am today. I would not be able to run my own business. I would not be able to learn new skills and upskill myself. So having access to internet, having access to resources, having access to ways of learning and growing my knowledge and growing my business and learning about the world is something that I strongly believe in. For those of you that have been here for a while, you'll know that back in 2019, I represented my country, South Africa, in Russia at the World Skills International Competition for Graphic Design Technology, where basically I went and competed against a whole bunch of different young graphic designers from all over the world, and we were all united through skills and skills learning and skills education. I did make a video about my time competing in Russia, so if that interests you, feel free to watch it. I have linked it onto this video, and it shows all of my time competing and what it was like and leading up to competing and how I got involved in it and what we got tested on and all of that stuff. So feel free to watch that video if the power of skills development and skills education interests you. But I have always been at the forefront of education, and I really strongly believe in education and upskilling, which is what I love about education, is you will never know everything. You'll always be able to learn something new. And I'm so grateful that I literally just need to open my laptop, type in a question that I have, and get an answer instantly. Some people don't have that luxury. I love that the internet has transformed education in several different key ways. Students and educators can access vast amounts of information and resources online, including academic journals, ebooks, papers, and educational videos. We can do online learning. There are so many online learning platforms that offer courses from worldwide institutions, making education more accessible and more flexible for the general public. A third way is interactive learning tools, online tools and apps that create interactive learning experiences, such as virtual labs, simulations, educational games, which all enhance engagement and understanding. The internet has aided in collaboration. This is done through tools like Google Workspace or Microsoft Teams. This allows both students and educators to work together in real time from different locations. Another one is remote education, and we all know this so well from our time experiencing COVID. The internet supports remote learning, making education possible for students that can't get to a traditional classroom due to distance, health, or scheduling reasons. Another way in which the internet has changed education is by personalized learning. Adaptive learning technologies use data to tailor learning experiences to individual student needs, which improve the learning outcomes. And another way is through global connectivity. Students can connect with peers and educators worldwide, fostering cultural exchange and broadening perspectives. Overall, the internet has made education more accessible, flexible, and interactive, significantly enhancing the learning experience. I would also like to recommend that you read the book, or if you prefer, watch the movie of The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It is a brilliant true story about the life of William Kamkwamba. It shows how he was able to use his individual ability and determination for change in order to better the lives of his family and all the families in his community. It's truly inspiring, like 10 out of 10. I am so grateful for where I am today and for the privileges that I was born into. I had a roof over my head, 3 meals a day, clothing to keep me warm, access to healthcare, and good education. And these basic, simple human rights are considered luxuries for some people in the world, which is why it is so important to give back when you have the means to. This is a small way that you can personally make a difference in a young student's life. I hope this video was informative, inspiring, and also just outlines that if you are currently watching this video on YouTube today, you are blessed and life is good. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to check out GiveInternet.org and donate using my link below. Until next time, bye!